How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, we got chapter 29 of Kaiju number 8 today. I actually already did this video once, and now I'm going to do it again because my entire video got messed up. So that was fun. Yeah, it was actually the first time I did it a little bit different. I had a little bit of live stuff, not much of anything, but still something different, and then just nothing, so. Back to the old routine for retrying this, and then maybe we'll do that again the next time I get an extremely hype chapter, because that's exactly what this was. This was one of my... Scratch that. This is my favorite chapter of chapter... This is my favorite chapter of chapter number 8. This is my favorite chapter of Kaiju number 8. Hoshina is my favorite character, as is, before this chapter, and all this did was put him even higher up. So the gap between him and number 2, and I will say, due to some flashback stuff, Mina is actually moving up a little bit too. So moving on to actually what we get into. Starting off, we have a halfback. I cannot talk today for some reason. Starting off, we have a flashback with Hoshina talking to his father. His father telling him that, well, gotta be honest, son. If this were the Edo period, you would be a prodigy. It's the modern era. The era of blades is over. You need to give up on joining the defense force. Try to understand, Soshiro. So, yeah. Alright. Okay. I did... You know, when a character starts off as badass as Hoshina has started off, you don't expect them to have a backstory where people were telling them, bruh, just give up. Quit. You can't do it. So this is surprising and tells me that Hoshina might have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. So, getting back to normal time, we have Okanogi screaming vice captain over the comms, trying to get something from him. Obviously scared that he's dead. And as if the first panel didn't already give me some backstory to love Hoshina more for, the second panel, this dude pops up out of nowhere just like, I'm good. How? How are you good? How are you good, bud? And then he starts getting up, he says, ow, ow, ow. Whew, even with the max shields, that thing really still packs a punch. So, he was able to have his max shields up, so obviously that would absorb a lot of damage, thank God. Because, yeah, he's still okay. It seems like it was like a... If somebody bigger than you picked you up and, like, threw you at a wall, like, not, like, super hard, I'm not talking somebody, like, literally 3 times your size or anything like that, but somebody bigger than you that could pick you up and throw you a bit. Like, throwing you against a concrete wall. Like, it's gonna hurt, but... you could probably get back up after that, like catch your breath a little bit. You'd probably be okay. Maybe a broken rib or something, but for somebody as tough as Hoshina, some broken ribs, is that really going to do that much? So yeah, this was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was. Now, with that being said, he does comment to himself that his max release is deactivated. So while he may not be hurting too seriously, like on the brink of death or anything, he's not going to be as strong anymore. His maximum output is no longer possible in this fight. So that does not look good. And something I kind of noticed with this character is right after he says to himself that his max release is deactivated, he then out loud to Okanogi asks, what's the status report on the outside? So, the negative thing about himself, the more dire situation of him probably not gonna be able to beat Kaiju number 10 at this point. Kaiju number 10 is now a giant class Kaiju, which is not his strong suit, and he doesn't have his max release. That does not look good. That's not a good thing. He keeps that to himself, and then on the outside, does what a vice captain or a captain should do, and says, hey, how's everybody doing? Is everybody okay? Are the evacuees okay? Are the troops doing alright? What's going on? So, that, when you really look at it, speaks a lot more to me than him saying out loud, man, my max release is deactivated though. That's not good. But hey, at least tell me what's going on outside. No, he keeps the negatives to himself. on the outside, he's, well, probably on the inside too, but vocally on the outside, he's worried about everybody else, not himself. So that's when Okanogi tells him that almost all of the civilians are already evacuated, and the troops are actually starting to push back and really make progress on the Yoju. So good and good. Leaves one thing left. Get down to business with Kaiju number 10. Because that's all Vice Captain can do right now. This is his job at the moment. He's in charge of the base because there is no captain here right now. So he says, well, better hop to it. Time to take you down. And Kaiju number 10 wastes no time either. I was surprised Hoshina, even while reading this and seeing him like I'm good, it's all right, and popping back up, I did not expect him to just go straight back full force into it, like from 0 to 60 just like that again. I did not expect that. I also did not expect him to jump up, dodge, and let out, like, I think it was just number 1, and he hit Kaiju number 10 across the chest, and it was a huge gash across his chest. And this was without max release. He does not have that anymore. This is not full power Hoshina, which is what, like 92, 93%, something like that. This is not that Hoshina anymore. And it was a big cut. At least it looked like it was in the family. So that was surprising. And so, of course, Kaiju number 10 has to talk some shit. He's done that like every time he's been on page so far. A little tired of you, bud. But yeah, he's like, I got you figured out. Those blades aren't gonna hurt me in this form. You can't kill me. I've got this. It's checkmate. And while Hoshina's just doing his thing, getting better positioning, he's not actually running away, even though he's whatever. Anyway, Hoshina's talking to himself, still saying, yeah, I know that. I've known that this entire time. I've been hearing this shit my entire life. So we get a little more of a flashback. It's not just his father saying he needs to give up, saying he shouldn't be in the defense force or shouldn't be on the front lines. It's also superiors in the defense force, or at least colleagues. So the guy in the defense force actually tells him that, hey, if you keep fighting out there, you're going to die because Kaiju keep getting bigger. You should use your blade skills as an instructor. Do you know how badly that man has missed the mark on that call? Like, okay. Soshiro Hoshina should have been an instructor. This dude literally was playing darts and threw the dart backward. He threw it backward on accident and then just threw air at the dartboard. That's what this dude just did. I get it. Hindsight is 2020. I get it, but still. Can you imagine Hoshina being an instructor and not even fighting Kaiju? After what we've seen him doing this. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. So, yeah, that guy he's not getting a promotion anytime soon on that pick. Just calling that right now. If that guy gives you any advice on, like, stocks, lottery numbers, like don't listen to that guy. Don't do it. Bad idea. Moving on from that idiot. And that's when Hoshina decides to tell us that he's been hearing that since he was a kid, but she told me something different. So we get the flashback of Mina asking Hoshina to join the squad, and she says, she's like, okay, so you're good with blades? He's like, yes ma'am, all prim and proper in his little baby days in the force. And in his head he's thinking, he's like, alright, here it comes, same old line, why don't you just give up? And he can't even finish his thought before Mina asks him, will you join my force? I need your abilities. And like, this dude is shocked. I was so happy too. I mean, I was literally every page or every other page of this chapter, I was stopping like, oh, I gotta take a breather. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Like it was constantly throughout the whole thing. But this, I got so happy when I saw this. I was like, you got the job, buddy. I got so happy for him. I really did. It was awesome. But yeah, Mina says we can't overlook the possibility of a powerful small kaiju. It can happen. What if they adapt to guns later and start shrinking back in size? Whatever. Don't know what she was thinking, but it's smart. The reason in specific that she wants Hoshina is because apparently she is completely inept with blades. Like, really, really badly. If I can get it, salvage it, I will put up the reaction of me reading this. If not, well, I guess I'm going to keep talking right now. Are you guys back yet? Alright, moving on. So, yeah, she's so bad with blades, she doesn't even want to handle a kitchen knife if she can avoid it. That is like... Okay, so Zoro back there from One Piece is kind of my favorite character. If you don't know, he is so bad with his sense of direction that you can point to a staircase right in front of you, tell him, alright, you need to go to that staircase and go upstairs. He will get lost even though he can see the staircase. He won't make it to the staircase. He'll get lost before he gets there. That is a little bit worse than this, but not by a whole lot. Which, it's also funny because him and Hoshina, obviously, are both very good with blades, and now Mina is just that terrible with them. So I like that kind of connection between him and, well, both of these characters, actually, that I was able to find. So, yay for me. Anyway, moving on from this. This really isn't a big deal. She just asks him, if I need to shoot something, can you clear the path for me? Which is a big deal. That's like, hey, I need you to do the thing that I can't do. I can do everything else, which means everybody else doing the same thing as me, kind of useless to me for the most part, if we're being honest. You do the thing I can't. I need you specifically. So that's huge. And that's why Hoshina says he's like, she left me in charge of this base. I'm gonna defend it till the end. I'm not gonna give up on this. I don't care if I die. This is what I'm here to do. And now we figure out this dude got so much more left in the tank than I thought he did. We get number 2 cross slasher, number 3 return slasher, number 4 wild slasher, number 5 mist slasher, number 6 and no number 6 once again. Why do you hate me so much? Why? I swear to God, I'm never gonna get to see what number 6 is. Unless we've seen it before, but I don't think so. I think number 6 keeps getting cut off. So, again. But not only Okanogi notices this time Kafka notices as well. Because he is actually running up to the scene right now. And this is, I mean, what I assume most people kind of expected to happen. I know some people didn't want this to happen. Some people did, obviously. You're going to get people all over the spectrum here. So... yeah, he's running straight towards the vice captain and Kaiju number 10, and he thinks for a second about what Ichikawa's told him about don't do anything reckless. Trust in the Force. Trust in all of us. But he tells him, I'm sorry. And Ichikawa realizes what he's going to do. Obviously, it's not hard to figure out at that point. But Kafka thinks to himself, every member is worth saving. Hoshina is still a member. Whether he's the vice captain, whether he's the person in charge right now or not, he's still a member of the group. And he is also worth saving. So Kafka starts to transform, even though it's basically a death sentence being on a base of the Defense Force. So, yeah. And, yeah, so... I was so enthralled through this entire chapter that I got so confused about this because it's easier to hide this in a manga for the full reveal than it is for an anime because in an anime you have voices, in a manga you don't. And with this obviously being a pretty hype chapter for my favorite character, I'm just going balls to the wall. I'm excited. I'm just along for the ride. Whatever you want me to think, I'm yours. Doesn't matter. So we hear, good job holding things down, everybody. I'm assuming it comes over comms, not over like somebody yelling. So it's not like, I mean, I guess Hoshina could squeeze it out. And yeah, I didn't think that was somebody else besides Hoshina, because Okanogi knows Hoshina got grabbed up. So she's worried about him, thinking like, oh god, this is definitely the end now. And then if he were to say something after that, that would still surprise her. And so she says, that voice, I'm still thinking at this point, she's like, that voice, it's Hoshina, it's the vice captain, he's still alive, again. Kind of like I was when you look at him right after that and he says, hey Kaiju, I got you beat. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Is number 6 some like special move where you can like throw it out and like there's a delay or something? Like, what's going on here? He's literally just stuck in his hand. And then Kaiju number 10's entire, gigantic left shoulder, top half of his arm just gets eviscerated. Just blown out to smithereens. And for a split second, even when looking at this, I was like, oh my god, what is number 6? What is technique number 6? And then after that, I realized, wait a minute. I've seen this exact pattern of complete annihilation before in this manga. And this exact pattern and style of absolute obliteration only comes from Mina Ashiro, the captain of the 3rd Division of the Defense Force. The shoo-in for the next, I can't remember the name, I'm gonna call it Commander-in-Chief of the entire Defense Force. Number 1, basically, in the series that we've really gotten any context on. There ain't a whole lot of people bigger than her. She has made it back from headquarters. I don't know how. I don't know the timeline and distance of everything. Doesn't matter. She's here. She figured it out. One-shotted this dude's entire arm. And this was almost funnier to me than Mina not wanting to handle a kitchen knife, because the look on Kaiju number 10's face hole, I guess you still call it a face, looks more like a face hole. He literally doesn't have a face, and you can still see the fact that he is about to shit a brick about what just happened to him. Kafka is also about to shit a brick, but his would be probably a human-sized brick, not like whatever Kaiju number 10 would make. That's just terrifying to think about. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you nightmare fuel. Moving on. Hoshina gets a couple last words. I'm the vice captain of this base. Passing the baton to her is my job. And he's got a smile while he's going down to the ground. He's happy to do his job. This is why he's here. He doesn't want to take her spot. He wants to be the sword to, well, not her shield, her gigantic cannon bullet. Like, he's fine with it. And what do we see? Yeah, the big old gigantic cannon bullet just chink chink. It's not looking good for Kaiju number 10. Even if by some insane, weird, stupid way he manages to beat Mina, there ain't no way he's gonna be in a good enough position to beat Kafka after that too. So no matter what happens, I don't even know if he could beat Kaiju number 8 before Mina blew his arm off. He's definitely not beating him, probably even now, right now. If it was him versus Kafka one-on-one right now, Kafka's taking that. I'm calling that all day. But yeah, Mina says, Okanogi, I'm a bridging request due to emergency. Yeah, we're okay with that. I think we're all fine with that. I think we all kind of figured you did that when you blew his entire arm off. I was pretty sure you abridged whatever requests you needed and just did what you wanted. I didn't think you needed to make a request. You're the captain. But yes, final panel. Beautiful, awesome. Mina with the cannon. I'm blasting this thing away. Maximum combat power, 96%. And she's got that super awesome white tiger behind her. What can that thing do? How strong is that thing? Please tell me that thing can just, like, annihilate one of these Yoju. Like, okay. We have a break next week, so it's 2 weeks until the next chapter again. So I just want to get that out of the way before I say when next chapter comes around. 2 weeks from now. Can I please see this big old white tiger thing and little old Shinomaya, old Mini Mina? Can I see both of them in the same panel? One shot their own individual Yoju? Please? I want. The tiger shouldn't be that strong, and that's not going to happen. I doubt it's that strong. I will say, I hope it could fight one of those Yoju and beat it semi-handily. I want that tiger to be strong. I don't want that thing to just be a prop. If it's following around the 3rd Division captain of the Defense Force and it's just there for show, get it out of there. Get it out. That thing better be able to scrap with some Yoju. Just saying. But yes, this was incredible. It had me on the edge of my seat thinking it was Hoshina until way past. I should have thought it was Hoshina. Granted, I have a little bit of bias, but I don't care. It was wonderful. I let my eyes do the reading, not my brain, not my thoughts. Yeah, it was so much fun. This chapter was a thrill ride of ups and straightforwards, and then ups and then straightforwards, and then ups and then straightforwards, and not a whole lot of downs until I realized we had a 2-week break. But with all this being said, hopefully I can get this video working properly. I can get it out to you guys. And with that being said, if you enjoyed, I hope you guys like and subscribe. I said that at the beginning of the last one, not at the beginning of this one. But hey, whatever. I just need to get it out of here. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out, and I'll see you next time.